Hi everybody, welcome to my loft. Rusty Blackwood here on September 15th, 2024. It's been a while since I have come to do a video on my channel here, so I thought that it was time that I did. As you can see, I'm wearing my butterfly necklace with the multicolored beads that signifies all the different colors in nature. And of course, butterflies are a sign of life, new life. And I always wear this in remembrance of my mother, whose anniversary of her passing is the day after tomorrow, Wednesday the 18th. It marks 9 years since Mama went on her next journey. And so, love you, Mom. I hope you're watching. And so, there's a number of things that I would like to talk about. Where do you begin? You know, I'm not exactly sure as yet just what I am going to name this video. But with everything that's going on in the world, I think that I possibly might name it something to do with evil out of control. And I think by that title you would get the idea where I'm coming from and why I feel like I do. It's just, as you know, my American readers, of course, and followers and my fans down in the States, this is your election year. And we here in Canada are very, very fixated on what is going on down there in the path to the White House, and just the evil. There is no other word for it. It's just blatant evilness that is going on, and it's just totally out of control. And you know, I make no secret of the fact that I am a supporter of Donald Trump. And I was when he first ran, and definitely when he was running for the 2020 election, because he'd already proven the 4 years that he was in office. He had proven to everybody just what he was capable of doing and what all he did. He made the United States of America prosperous again. He made it safe again for the residents of the states. And I know there are some of you out there that will disagree with me, and that's okay. Everyone in this life is free to express their own opinions so far, thus far. But if what is left to happen the way it is trying to be maneuvered once again, your safety, our safety here in Canada, everywhere in the world for that matter, is up in the air. Because if President Trump does not get back into the White House where he belongs, I dread to think what is ahead for all of us. Um, it's no longer a laughing matter, if anybody ever thought it was. And all I can say is, don't be taken in by the Democrats again, please. They're not even, they should be ashamed to call themselves the Democrat Party. It's supposed to stand for democracy. Up here in Canada, liberals are supposed to stand for liberty, freedom, the same as in the States, democracy. But it is a far cry, both the Democratic Party and the Liberal Party of Canada. As I say, they should be ashamed to use that name, because they are anything but. JFK, Ronald Reagan, JFK, Ronald Reagan, of course, was a Republican, and he was a great president. And as you all know, I am basically conservative. And in Ontario here, we don't have, we only have a Libertarian Party here in Ontario. We don't have one federally, at least one that is on the ballot. But in Ontario, we have Libertarian, and that is the way that I vote in the provincial election. I live in Ontario. And because I totally disagree with the Conservative Party that we presently have in office. There again, they are not conducting themselves as proper conservatives. And that's what libertarian is. It's grassroots conservative. And that is why I support it, and that is why I voted for it the last election, and I will the next one as well. And once we get a federal Libertarian Party on the ballot, I will be casting my vote for them too. Unapologetically, because we need common sense. We have got to have common sense returned to this world for the sake of the generations to come. We have to. There's no if and buts about it. We have to. And I mean, I'm not going to sit with my lips zipped and not express how I feel, not expose what's going on. My view on this. And I am entitled to my view and my opinion. And as long as we all stand together and we stand united together in this cause, we will have common sense return to this world. And if people turn their eyes to God, where their eyes should be, and their allegiance, then we wouldn't be in this fix either. It's exasperating, really and truly. They made an attempt on President Trump's life in July the 13th, and yesterday, another assassination attempt again on his life. Unsuccessful. Thank God. Thank God. I don't know if anybody was to say, like they did with the first assassination attempt in July, ridiculous comments like, too bad the shooter couldn't shoot straight. Ridiculous ideas and opinions to think, regardless of whether you like somebody or you don't. You don't wish death on anybody. As much as I do not like Kamala Harris, for many reasons, I would never, ever uphold an assassination attempt on her life. You just don't do that. And anybody that even thinks those kind of things best get down on their knees and ask for forgiveness. Because it's wrong. It's totally wrong. If you can't win an office through your policies and through proving your policies and upholding the Constitution of your country, we all have one. May not all be the same, but we all have a Constitution. And if you can't put the people of your country first and foremost, ahead of your power grab and your quest for money and fame and, as I say, power, then you have no business being there. No business whatsoever. And I don't know. It's easy to research. It's easy to look things up and find out who has done what. President Trump, in the 4 years he was in office, as I said earlier, he did wonderful things for the United States. And there were no wars. There was prosperity. There was employment. There was not outrageous prices on food and gasoline and housing and mortgages. The same here in Canada. It wasn't quite the same. Like ours has been climbing for quite some time, where we're just as bad as the States as far as prices are concerned and inflation. And hopefully our election isn't until next year, and I'm hoping and praying that we can hang on as a country until then. And we get common sense back in Ottawa. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say this to say that it couldn't be any worse, but there comes a time sometimes when you have to choose the lesser of two evils. And yet and all, there's something about Polyev that this is the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, the opposition party right now to Trudeau's Liberals. And I do hope he gets into office because he has common sense. He has a common sense plan. And if it can be followed and if it can materialize, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to even happen in one term of office. But eventually it can begin with doing away with this ridiculous carbon tax. It's just out of control. And you look out the window, look out your window, and look at the trees. There is the carbon control right there. Trees absorb carbon. And in Canada, everywhere you look, there are trees, as far as your eye could see. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of acres of trees. And they are the ones that are cleaning the air. That is what takes the carbon out of the air. That is what refreshes the air. That is what cleans the air that we breathe, that the trees give, the oxygen the trees give. It's a give and take situation. And this this, here in Canada, this ridiculous carbon tax has just gotten totally out of control. Everywhere we turn, there's a tax. And he's never satisfied with that tax. Then he's got to be bringing in another tax, or he's got to be increasing the tax that is already in, that's happening. If you're hearing this noise comes every once in a while, it is my air conditioner, because it's still warm enough outside, especially for me up here in the loft. It does get quite close. The air gets humid, and so I have it set on its economy control, and it just comes on when it reaches what it's set at, and it'll go off relatively soon again. So I hope that it doesn't bother with you hearing me properly here. Now, getting back to what I was having to say, primarily I'm talking about the United States and the upcoming election. And I watched the debate. I think everybody in the world watched the debate that happened on the Tuesday night week last. And I applaud President Trump. I do. Because that wasn't a debate. That was an all-right attack on President Trump by three. Not just by Kamala Harris, but by three moderators who should be ashamed of themselves, because all they were doing was making it easy for her, never once fact-checked her, constantly fact-checking Trump. And if they were to fact-check properly, they would find out what they were fact-checking was true to begin with. What he said, what Trump said, was true. Not, of course they can't let that stand. No. We have to fact-check Trump. Anything to try to keep the uproar for the Democrats going, to keep the eyes on her. She is the sitting vice president, has been for the last 3.5 years, almost 4 years. Done nothing. She talks about all these things that she's going to do. You had 3.5 years to do it, you and Biden. Why haven't you? I guess that's Bidenomics. The condition the states is now in. All the wars happening, the outrageous prices, people can't afford to put bread on their table. That's Bidenomics. And if she gets a chance, it's going to be a lot worse. So please, use the sense God gave you and think before you cast your vote. President Trump has tried and proven what he can do, what he did do, and he will do what he says he will do. And in return, Canada will prosper too. The entire Western world will prosper. And so, I'm going to just leave it at that. If I were an American citizen, I would not hesitate to cast my vote for Donald Trump and all the Republican offices that will help to get him in there. And so, your political system works differently than it does here in Canada. Ours is different, of course. And I'm not going to try to explain that in this video, because it would take 2 or 3 videos to try to explain it. I wish, in a way, ours was more like it is in the United States. To me, it's simpler. Whoever you want to run the country, it's much easier to just make sure you're casting your vote for him or her, and they will, that will help to get them in there. Whereas here, it's a little bit different. And sometime when I've got not much to talk about, I will talk about that. But I just, for those that are interested, I have started. I'm back to work, and I'm working on Before the Grandeur, the making of a horse master. I'm now starting chapter 6. Keep in mind, this is first draft, of course, and so it's going to be a while. I'm not going to give even begin to make a time frame on when this book is going to be finished. Whether I will have it ready to put out, it will not be out before the end of this year, but next year, definitely next year. Just when, hopefully in the spring, but it will be next year at some point in time. And I'm enjoying it, back with my dear Cyril Landon. And you all know from previous videos how I feel about Cyril Landon. If he were, instead of being a fictional character that I made up, if he actually existed, oh my, I don't think I could come up with a more perfect mate than Cyril Landon. Honestly, I don't think I could. And I just love him. And so, and of course, Before the Grandeur revolves around Cyril and his early beginnings, from the time he was born, pre-World War One, just pre-World War One, the year before, and his rise from a young man to coming to America, and coming to Oliver Green Stables at that time. That becomes Landon Lawn Stables in the in the Autumn series, the trilogy here, beginning with Perils of Autumn, picking up in the first part of the two-part sequel, Return to Autumn, and Return to Autumn Part 2. And so you get to, in Before the Grandeur, you will learn all about how Cyril climbs the ladder and how he becomes a horse master, which in turn he then becomes a celebrated horse master that you meet in Perils of Autumn. And so I'm having a good time with it. I'm enjoying it. That's the whole idea behind writing, is in the enjoyment that writing a piece of work brings to the one doing the writing. And I'm thoroughly, very much enjoying doing this prequel. And I did an event last Saturday, week ago this past Saturday, on the 7th. I opened the month of September in Ridgeway, Ontario, at Lakeside Books and Art. And Karen DiBiase is the proprietress of the bookshop. And each summer she has been hosting, each Saturday in the morning, a reading series, and it is for all local authors in the Niagara area. And I'm telling you, it's impressive. The list continues to grow of wonderfully talented writers and authors, and I'm honored to be included amongst them. And so I opened the month of September for her, and it was really nice. It was a lovely sunny day. I was there with my autumn series, well, all my books, Willow's Walk as well, and Passions and Paris, Revelations of the Lost Diary, and met some nice people, had some great conversation, was talking with a budding author, and I'm sorry, I am terrible with names until I get to know somebody really well. but I wish you well. If you remember, if you're watching, you took one of my cards and some of my signage. And if you remember, me talking to you about, don't give up. That's one of the first and foremost advice that you could give anybody that is beginning to write. Like, have faith in yourself and don't give up. Don't be discouraged, because it can be. If you let it get to you, go into it being realistic, that the chance of fame and fortune is always there. But do it first and foremost because you love to write, and you love to write for yourself, to express yourself, with hopes that what you write entertains those who decide to read it. And so another thing you can always do for an author is, when you read a piece of their work, review it. Give a review on it of how you liked it, or how you felt about it. And because reviews on work is what sells books. People read reviews, and if they're reading nice reviews and people talking about how much they enjoyed the story, they could even sort of reveal a bit of the story in their review if they choose to, and give it a rating, a star rating from 1 to 5. And people read those and they think, oh, well, especially if they know somebody, word of mouth. Somebody said, I just finished a book by Rusty Blackwood. It's part of her autumn trilogy, her autumn series here, and I really liked it. I enjoyed, as I turned the pages, I just kept getting pulled and pulled more into the story, and I enjoyed it very, very much. And I think he'd like it. And so therefore, then somebody then will decide, okay, I'm going to go and get myself a copy of that book. And especially when you're an indie author, a self-published author, that is so, so very, very important, because there aren't every bookstore in the world having your book on their shelf, and a standard house is pushing you, because it doesn't work that way with indie authors. You've got to do your own marketing, your own push, and everything yourself. And so that is why having the internet to do things online is just fantastic, because if it wasn't for the internet, well, we may as well just put the cap on the pen and stop, because there's no way that you can get your book or your books in every bookstore around the world. That's just impossible. So you get them where you can get them, but because they are online, in that respect, they are everywhere in the world, and so you just have to market that way and hope that you get picked up. People will pick up your work. And I've been very, very fortunate. I mean, it could always be better, but it could always be worse. And I'm always very appreciative of every sale that comes my way, every review that comes my way, and everybody who supports me and my work. I applaud you. I thank you so much. Please understand and know how much I do appreciate that. I get to meet new people all the time on my different media sites that I go to, that either join my site or follow me here on YouTube, or follow my website, my official website, rusty-blackwood.com, or my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I haven't decided whether I want TikTok or not, but so far I haven't gotten it. I don't, at this point in time, I don't plan on getting it. And because as it is, I've got enough, because there's LinkedIn, there's Wimpkin, there's Tumblr, there's Rumble, there's all these others. I don't do a lot of appearance on a lot of these other side ones, but Wimpkin I do quite a little bit, and LinkedIn, of course, and on Twitter, which is now X, and my groups on Rusty Blackwood, and on my Facebook, Friends of Rusty Blackwood, and I belong to a few different clubs on there that I share my work through. And so there again, there's always an outlet. If you look and you keep trying, doors continue to open for you. And for Jane, who picked up a copy of The Perils of Autumn on my event in Ridgeway, I really hope that you enjoy it. I do hope to hear from you. Remember, I told you, please let me know how you're enjoying it. Come to my website and message me and let me know. Keep in touch with me. I'm just going to have a little bit of coffee and my giant-sized cup, which is the size of my head, apparently. As you can see, it's not, but it is a large cup. That is good. And so, I'm just past my 30-minute mark, so I'm going to say bye-bye today. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the comments you give. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Here is George, the YouTube star George. He thought he would make an appearance here in my video. Say hello. Say hello to your many fans, George. Yes, you are the YouTube star, George. And can't wait to get out of here now. Yes. So, at least he made an appearance. He brought up one of his, he has these little, oh my, look at the hair on it. These little spider things that he likes to bat around and play with, and he brings it up for me to throw it, and then he chases it, and so that's what he's doing. He's off on an adventure. So again, thank you so very, very much for tuning in. I will be back relatively soon again. I'm trying to get, now that I'm back to work, I can begin doing my videos a little oftener than what I've been doing. If you get the chance, while you're on YouTube here, please check out my Declan's Revenge. It is the latest dramatic film short that I produced, and it is on my YouTube channel, and it is based on chapter 33 from Willow's Walk, and very, very in-your-face video of what happens to dear Willow Sutherland Crosby, what she encounters from her unexpected encounter with Declan Quinn, who you'll learn about in Willow's Walk. And so if you happen to check it out, please comment it, say hi to me, let me know. So I haven't got any film shorts ready to continue further, but I will be doing another one down the road. I need to start to do a little bit on my autumn series here, but I don't have a horse to actually get up on, and so I don't know just yet how I will go about that, but we shall see. I'm always coming up with new ideas. So I wish God's blessings to each of you. Please take care. Don't be intimidated. Don't be bullied. Follow common sense in all ways, in all matters of life, but definitely in what is going on around all of us, everywhere, because it affects all of us everywhere, what is going on right now down in the States. And so pray for Donald Trump, for his safety. And hopefully, and God is always listening. He's always there. He has us. He's always there. And I know he has President Trump's back, as well as his family. And so, I will say bye-bye for now. And please, as I always ask you to like this video, please comment the video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you again. Peace out for now.